is, if he could finally have some playoff success, he might still then be able to be that other guy. That'd be pretty sweet. Even though I want the Wild to go to the finals and win the Lord Stanley Cup. If I can't have the Wild involved, I think a Patrick Kane Chicago Blackhawks versus a Alex Ovechkin Capitals would be a pretty fantastic matchup for the league, for the NHL, for the sport of hockey. But anyway, Patrick Kane, number 5 on our year-end countdown list. Number 4, representing the world of ballers, we've got Steph Curry, league MVP, league champion at number 4, kind of taking the torch out of LeBron's hands, as I am the number 1 basketball guy in the world right now. I'm the best. I have the most fans. I'm the most popular. It's my era. You're the old man, and I'm the new guard, and your time's done, and my time is now. Had he won the NBA MVP, the Finals MVP, in addition, and truly deserved it, not because Andre Iguodala won it and deserved it. Had Curry won it and deserved it, he would be arguably number 1 on this list. He'd be higher than 4, but we have him at 4. Moving on to our top 3. Number 3, we have... Where the heck is my number 3? There we go. The golf world. Jordan Spieth, the young kid phenom, winning half of the majors. Did he win 3 of the 4 majors or half of the majors? Either way, came out of nowhere, dominated the golf world, had as good of a season as anybody ever almost. A top 10, top 20 all-time season in the golf world. As young as he is, as likable as he is, really bringing attention, kind of closing out, giving a definitive period and closing to the Tiger Woods era, and now it is not the Rory McIlroy era. It is the next generation era, and that is not even headed by Rory McIlroy. It is headed by Jordan Spieth, and McIlroy needs to step up his game. And what we thought was McIlroy's era at McIlroy's level just got raised. It wasn't like McIlroy got all that worse. He got a little worse, but it wasn't like he got all that worse and somebody else was just kind of a little bit better now. No, Spieth's best was better than McIlroy's best had been yet to this point, from an accomplishment standpoint, from a success standpoint, not speaking talent or skill. Jordan Spieth, number 3 on our year-end countdown. Congratulations, young man. At number 2, this was really hard. My top 2 were really, really hard to pick who was 1 and who was 2, but I settled on the lack of attention and just people being wrong this year, in this season, resulting in one Tom Brady being number 2. Tom Brady's number 2? How can Tom Brady be number 2? Tom Brady's number 1. But yes, Tom Brady number 2. We go back to the end of last year's NFL season in the January playoffs, involving Deflategate, involving a Super Bowl championship, involving him winning the Super Bowl MVP. Then you've got all the off-season stuff on what's going to happen with Deflategate, and that being a never-ending story. Then you've got this year where he is the MVP of the league. But like I said, the thing that kept him from being 1 is nobody's been talking about him as the MVP of the league for the entire NFL season this year, which has been the case. So that just that lack of people caring and lack of attention is what ultimately held him out of number 1 and bumped him to number 2. So Tom freaking Brady, number 2 on our year-end countdown. Now, before I get to number 1, our quick list of our most notable honorable mentions. We had Dustin Johnson in the golf world, mostly for choking and blowing opportunities to win championships and off-field antics, things of that nature. We also had Roger Goodell as another, he arguably could have made the list, but he could make the list every year with how much his hands are in stuff. Kobe, not hardly playing much, but still, finding a way to always have people care about him and talk about him and, do an interview or write a poem or, whatever. Have a goodbye, farewell season tour that he's on right now. And then Johnny Manziel, who, for whether he's in the starting lineup, in rehab, whatever, we always want to talk about him, and we always find him very interesting, but he's still an honorable mention yet. So that brings us to our number 1 athlete, pro sports figure of the year for 2015, according to Scotty Ball, is Ronda Rousey. That is right. Ronda freaking Rousey was your number one athlete, pro sports figure of the year 2015. What she did from a success standpoint, from a popularity standpoint, from an impact standpoint, from a memorable, historic standpoint, getting both, victory and defeat. Like, the Holly Holmes, her loss to Holly Holmes is arguably the biggest story yet of the entire year for her. And that's what we're measuring is, how big of a imprint and impression people left on the year, and it just, Ronda Rousey is number one, your number one balls deep athlete of 2015. All right, that is it for the show. I gotta get the heck out of here. Thanks for tuning in all year. Happy New Year to you, and I hope that more than anything, I just hope that you tune in next week. Find the show on Spreaker app, on SoundCloud, and on YouTube. Again, I'm your host with the Almost, Scotty Ball. Thanks for listening as always. Tune in next week. Similar Balls Deep times, similar Balls Deep channels. I'm out of here. Peace.